Hi, it's Randall with Corey here at Honeybees. Today is Sunday, June the 20th, 2021. Today I'm going to show you about absconding and what to look for in your yards this time of the year. It's late June, and some of your bigger, more powerful colonies, if they've not been properly mite managed, they could be suffering from a virus epidemic due to mite loads now. I start seeing the process of absconding at this time of the year. And your biggest, strongest colonies like this one right here are the ones that are the most at risk due to the tremendous amount of brood production they've done. In the past, what will happen is I come around in early June, put on my last super, the last foundation, and I wouldn't come around for till about harvest time, usually right after 4th of July. And 2 or 3 colonies a year I was finding that they was totally abandoned, and wax moths got in here and destroyed all these valuable, precious combs. And last year, while doing splits after harvest in late July, I just happened in on a yard where the colony had just absconded probably that morning or the day before. The bees was on the ground and nearly stepped in them. I went around to the colonies and popped the inner cover, looked, make sure there was bees in there, even though all the colonies had bees at the entrance, like this right here. By raising the inner cover, I was able to quickly determine which colony had absconded, and that's exactly what it was. It was a colony that I had over there about this tall that I'd caught earlier in the year. So I pulled the 2 supers off and started pulling the deep frames, and what I saw amazed me. So there was probably a double handful of bees. I'm assuming there was probably nurse bees, maybe sickly bees that couldn't fly very well. It was all around at the entrance in the auger hole I have there. No bees back in the hive or up in the supers. The supers the bottom one was practically full of honey. The second one was about 2/3 full of honey and capped. And when I pulled a couple of frames of deep combs out, what I saw was a pretty amazing sight. The bees were so stressed that they had cannibalized all the younger brood, the younger larvae. But the pupae, they'd even uncapped and drug out probably a good 2 cupfuls of pupa, and they was laying on the floor of the bottom board, and fire ants then got in there and was dragging them out. But that was an amazing sight, and that was the final piece of the puzzle that allowed me to understand why I was losing these colonies like that. It was due to the varroa mite loads. But the bottom line I want to share with you is starting probably in mid-June, especially in your powerful colonies, you probably want to go around every week or so if you haven't been controlling your mites. Raise your inner cover and verify that the colony is strong, and don't just rely on bees being at the entrance, because that don't mean that there's an established colony in there at that time. And just taking a few minutes to do this can save your valuable combs for the following year. So I hope this information will help you out to save your combs in the future. I wish I would have known it a long time ago. I probably lost 25 or 30 supers of combs and countless deeps of combs. So anyway, I thank you for joining me for this video today. We'll see you next time.